everyone, and welcome to Sid's COVID Kitchen. I am back from the grocery store. I plucked up the courage to start making this chicken pot pie. Excited is an understatement. So I'm just gonna read the instructions off of this here computer. Anyway, okay, now that I've fixed the camera angle so that you can see my whole head, or at least I hope you can, I don't know. Let's get to cooking. I am following the Barefoot Contessa recipe because my mom's always liked her cooking show on Food Network, and as have I. And she seems like a nice lady who knows what she's doing. So her pot pie is gonna be a little different than ours, mostly because she's making her crust from scratch and I didn't have the energy for all that. So I bought some pie crust. Now, I have no idea what I'm doing, absolutely at all. So we're all gonna fumble through this together. Also, the pie crust that I bought is circular, and the pan that I will be using is rectangular. I have two circular pans. What's the fun in that? We might have to look at a separate recipe for that, but don't worry, you guys. All of the recipes and all of the tidbits and whatnot that I use, I will put in the link, put in the description below so that you can follow along. There's a pot pie on the picture, so I'm just trying to understand. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's what I want, the pot pie. I have some really good cooking instincts because I don't think either of my grandmas have ever used a recipe in front of me. So I feel like I can figure this out. Let's do the filling first. Okay, so for that, we're gonna have to go over to the stove. I've had to sit down. I figure I'll give you like two angles of this so that you can like see me like cooking Rachel Ray style from that way, and then like in case you want to get a better look at the ingredients or something, look at here. Okay, we need to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. After we preheat the oven, it looks like the next thing we do is break down this chicken. Now, once again, this is where I differ from dearest Ina. She got real chicken breast and chopped them up and did the whole impressive I went to culinary school thing. I bought a delicious rotisserie chicken, and I got the traditional flavor, which is quite good. Gosh, I love a good chicken. What we're gonna do is we're gonna strip this chicken, take all of the bones out, get all of the meat in a bowl, and then we're gonna prepare, I guess, like the chicken pot pie filling or whatnot. First, we need to get the chicken naked. And when I say chicken, I mean the bones. And when I say naked, I mean no meat on it. All right, let me get a bowl. So basically, you just wanna break up the chicken breast so that it's not too meaty, but you know, good size. Everyone likes getting a big chunk of chicken in their chicken pot pie. Okay, so now that we have gotten all of the kind of sous chef stuff out of the way, we've got our onions chopped with the, see a little better. We've got our onions and celery, and we've got our chicken here. Now the next step is 5 cups of chicken broth. We're gonna pour 5 cups of that into here. I'm gonna wash this cup. Boom, all the water is cooked off. So now we've got just a regular stick of butter. So we're gonna put 1.5 of these. Now we're just gonna take a handful. She only uses onions, but I accidentally bought celery, so I'm gonna add onions and celery. The smell of butter and onions, man. It just, I don't know about you guys, but it makes me think of like Christmas and the holidays, you know, like when your mom is making the food or your grandma's throwing down. Yes! What in the heck? Oh, now see, we got the butter cooked a little too much. See, and it started browning one of our celery. We don't want that. We want gentle butter and onion loving. Now, the instructions say that we let all of this saute and magicalize for about 10 to 15 minutes on low heat. Don't forget, we've got our chicken bouillon cubes cooking and melting down in this back pan. While our celery and onions are making sweet buttery love to each other, we are going to move on to prepping the pan for the actual pot pie. My pan is a little old, and so I'm just going to put some tin foil across the bottom. I like doing this because then I know for sure nothing is going to stick. Now, we're going to take out my Pillsbury pie crust. I've never done this before, but I was just talking with my mother, and she said that I should cook the crust a little bit so that it doesn't get all gooey when I put the pie filling in. I also saw something online that said if you put egg whites on it, that would also help. This pie crust doesn't seem very exciting or flaky. It's not the sexy crust.
Buttery flavored crust.
I hope it's just flaky. Now, I was watching Ina on a video, and of course, she says in the video, if you don't want to make the pie crust, you can just buy some flaky, like Filio crust or something. Why didn't you tell me that while I was at the grocery store, Ina? It's fine. I am just going to outfit as much of the crust as I can along the bottom of the pan, and then I'm gonna cut it just like this and use the extra pieces to fill in where I can at the bottom. Okay, so this is pretty much what we're working with. So I'm just pressing the crust, like trying to see if I can get it to spread. Okay, and then this is the extra piece that I got, so I'm just gonna maybe sit that across here like this. Okay, so here's the crust smooshed out all across the bottom. The fingerprints aren't super sexy, but no one's gonna see that because it'll be under delicious pie. I have 4 of these square circle pie crust. So what I think I'm actually gonna do is try to wrap some around the sides so that my pie actually has edges to it. And then don't forget we have celery and carrots going, so we'll probably flip over and check on those in a second too. Okay, so we had to abandon our pie crust for a second and swing back over here because our delicious onions and celery were getting a little antsy. 3/4 of a cup of flour, basic store brand all-purpose flour. Mix the flour in with the butter and the celery, the chicken broth. So we're just gonna pour that in. I'm assuming we stir this hot chicken mixture and sim over low heat for 1 minute, stirring constantly until thick. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Quarantine has made me nothing but fat. Add 2 teaspoons of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Salt and pepper added. Now we're supposed to add 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Now we need to stir in the chicken and the rest of the vegetables. Dump that in. Now we're just stirring in the chicken. So I'm just gonna add like an 1/8 of a cup of the heavy cream. This pot pie smells like heaven. Ooh. 1 singular bag of frozen peas and carrots. Gonna dump those into the mixture. Okay, so this is pretty much it. I can't believe I just made a pot pie. It's freaking amazing. I'm just gonna add a little cayenne pepper. Now back to the crust. Okay, so here's our pie crust. We've got it completely wrapped around the edges. Do an egg wash, which is pretty much just eggs. And 2. And just put it in and spread it over. Mixture all around. You want to get it as like thin as you can because you don't want to have egg in your pot pie, like cooked egg. Like that sounds nasty. Okay, now we poured off the excess. There's still a little bit in here, but I'm hoping that's gonna be okay. Just gonna put it in here. It says for about like 5 to 10 minutes on 450. Okay, so here's our pie crust. Now she looks delicious. She's cooked, she's lifted up a little bit, and I've still got that little bit of egg in the bottom, which is really annoying, but I think it looks pretty good otherwise. Okay, let's see what Ina has for us next. Okay everyone, we are in the home stretch, baby. Not that I've like tasted the pot pie 5 million times, but from what I can tell, let's see if it's hot. This is delicious. And we've got our pie crust. We dump that into here. Guess who's not doing dishes tonight? Now we get ready to put this last pie crust on top. Okay, so have the rest of our egg wash. I'm gonna cut the holes first. I have no idea how you're supposed to do this.
I'm making a pot pie. Oh, I'm making a pot pie.
All right, well now I think we're just gonna slit them all because I feel like that will make it look better.
Oh, I'm making a pot pie. Oh, I'm making a pot pie. It tastes like magic.
So we're just gonna take it and spread it. Let me show you. Okay, we're gonna pop her in the oven probably for about, well, Ina says 30 to 40 minutes, so, but I don't think it's gonna take that long for the crust to cook, so we're gonna keep our eyes on it. Boom, ladies and gentlemen, a pot pie. And let me just say, this thing looks fabulous. All right, now it's time for a bite. You guys, this has been a labor, but you know, I'm gonna say it's been a strong labor of love. Anyway, so this is the pot pie. I will show you some pictures close up. It looks beautiful, okay? I'm quite proud of myself. It's a little hot, but maybe if I can, look at that. I was trying to say that the crust is flaky, but all I could get out was the flaky part.
Buttery flavored crust.
Just gonna... Wow. Wow, I just can't get over how good that is. Okay, anyway. So you guys, that was this week's episode of FUNemployment. We made a chicken pot pie, mostly from scratch. I'm pretty proud of myself. As I said before, I will link the recipes, all the information down below so you guys can try this. Don't forget to like this video if you like this video. Subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified of all of the fun and crazy stuff that we do on WeSibs. Christopher and I are about to cover... I'm about to take this pot pie in my living room, light a candle, and eat the heck out of this thing, and maybe read a book. So I will see you guys next week.